Is it safe for seniors to lift weights? Are you going to hurt yourself if you go to the gym and lift weights or lift weights at home? And maybe lifting weights is beneficial. Let's talk about it. My name's Eric. I'm a certified life coach, and I am specializing on this channel as a senior health coach. So I'm going to be talking about everything that has to do with uh, health, diet, fitness, lifestyle for seniors that will help you to have a better quality of life and stay healthy. So, um, whatever I say is my opinion, and it is not considered to be medical or professional advice. Let that stand. All right. Um, is it safe for us to lift weights as we get older? We usually think of weightlifting as something that the young guys do, that they want to bulk up and get big arms and all that kind of stuff. So um, as we grow older, our muscles naturally lose strength, and we have less and less muscle tissue every year. Also, our grip strength decreases. Now, these are two key factors to determine longevity, is muscle strength and grip strength, or your percent of body muscle. So also as we get older, we tend to get weaker and our balance decreases, and we're more prone to falls. And today I am going to um, show you that weightlifting is a key element in maintaining body strength, grip strength, um, improving your balance, your overall strength, and I'm going to show you how to do it safely. So here we go. How do we stay strong? Well, first off, we need to look at our diet. What are we eating? Are we eating foods that are feeding our muscles? If we're eating a high protein diet, our muscles are going to stay stronger. If we're eating a high carbohydrate diet, that is not doing much for our muscles. Only if you're going to be out there jogging, running a marathon, that kind of thing, then you only need a small amount of carbohydrates to give you some energy for the event. But you don't need carbs on a regular basis. It's not an essential nutrient in your body, but amino acids are, and our body takes uh, meat and eggs and fish, poultry, um, those kinds of things, and makes them into amino acids. So we need a high protein diet, and I'm recommending a minimum of 120 grams of protein per day. So if you look at your meals, that's going to breakfast, lunch, dinner, that's going to be about 40 grams of protein per meal. That's, I think, a minimum requirement. And that will help us to maintain our muscle so that we don't lose more muscle and get weaker. And the other element of this that I'm talking about today is resistance training, lifting weights. Uh, People sometimes get those resistance bands. They're like great big rubber bands that they stretch and do different kinds of exercises for. And I think they're great. I think any kind of resistance exercise like that is going to help us maintain muscle mass. But I think there's a drawback to using them, and that is that we're limited to the amount of resistance that any given band can provide for an exercise. And that's why I'm an advocate of lifting weights. Now, I'm not telling you to go to the gym and start, doing bench presses and, all kinds of that stuff with lots of barbells and dumbbells, because I want you to be safe. And safety is my number one focus. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But let me finish saying that if we are doing resistance training, such as lifting weights, I'm going to put that in air quotes, lifting weights, and I think I'm about to sneeze. Oh, okay. If we're doing resistance training, what we're doing is we're breaking down our muscle, and then the protein we eat will help our muscles rebuild and get stronger. This is why lifting weights has always worked for people who want to maintain strong muscles or get stronger muscles. And that is by doing resistance training or weight training. Okay, safety, number one. It's so important that we take care of ourselves and not overdo it. So the first item of safety is to not lift heavy weights. And some people think, oh, I need to have heavy weights to build my muscle or build my muscle faster if I'm lifting heavier weights. And I think that's an incorrect idea. Resistance is what will build your muscle and help you maintain muscle. It's not that heavy, strenuous weight. And when you're trying to lift heavy weights, you are setting yourself up for the possibility of injury. And you're not doing this to get injured. You're doing this to get stronger. And if you're going to go about this in the wrong way and get injured, then you're not going to be able to, be able to work out, and you're just going to go backwards again. So don't lift heavy weights, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. Second safety item is it would be really nice to have a buddy when you are working out. Now you can do this kind of exercises at home, and I'll mention that through the rest of the video. But I've become an advocate of going to the gym. There are people around, so even if you don't have a buddy with you, like my wife is my gym buddy, we go together. And but if something would happen, if you would trip and fall, or you're not feeling well while you're there, something like that, there are people around. And that's really important for your safety, that if you need help, there are people right there. And also, because I'm an advocate of going to the gym, um, if you haven't been to the gym yet and you decide to join, we'll talk about that. Or even if you have gone to the gym and you have a membership, I strongly recommend that you go to the front desk and say, I would like someone to show me how to use the weight machines. And it's a free charge. They are obligated to give you an initial free tour of how to use all the weight machines. So because it's free, you may have to set up an appointment depending upon your gym, or there might be somebody available right then. And they'll say, well, what do you want to do? And that's what I'm going to tell you about, what you're going to do at the gym so that they can give you some specific guidance. The third item of safety is recovery days. Now, as I mentioned, when you do these kinds of resistance exercises, you're actually breaking down muscle fibers. And the idea of doing this is to build muscle, right? And you're thinking, well, why do I want to break down my muscles? Well, the way our body works is we break down muscle and it will rebuild naturally. And that's where the high protein diet comes in. The protein, the amino acids will help to rebuild muscles. And because the rebuilding is the key element here, you need a recovery day. So, for example, my wife and I go to the gym 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If for some reason we can't go one of those days, like we can't go Friday, we'll go Saturday. Or we'll just skip a day if we have to. But I recommend 3 times a week. And the idea is on Monday, you're breaking down your muscles by lifting the weights. Tuesday's recovery. You're going to rest. Let your muscles do their job of getting stronger. Then you go back Wednesday, you break them down a little bit more. Thursday is a recovery day, and your muscles will naturally get stronger. And the recovery day is important for 2 reasons. One is that's how your muscles actually get stronger. And number two, it keeps us from this mentality of push, push, push. When we have a recovery day, we rest. It's really important to have that resting day to take care of ourselves. Okay, now item number 2, charting. I want you to keep a record. Now, I've talked about this in other videos, my video about walking, video about losing weight, charting. We're going to keep a record. And if you have a scale at home, most people do, we're really curious how much we weigh. So you get on that scale and you get your chart and you write the day's date and you write what your weight is. Now you're going to the gym. On your gym days, you're going to write on your chart how much weight you lifted. And I'm going to call that your load. And I'll give you a very simple, easy way to calculate your load. And this is going to be a way that we can monitor our progress and see how we're doing. So we're going to keep a record. Also, charting helps us to be consistent, to it helps us develop this new habit. And habits are so important, and we want to break old bad habits, and we want to develop new good habits. And charting is going to help us to do that. And also by charting, we can watch our progress. Okay, number 3, we're going to start with low weights. Now, when we go to the gym, we do one set of exercises with a dumbbell and the other with machines. And the weight machines start very lightweight, and as you go, you can increase weight. And we're going to focus on 4 muscle groups. We're not going to do crunches or sit-ups. We're not going to do anything to try to strengthen our core, because I promise you that you're not going to get 6-pack abs. That's not going to be done by going to the gym. If you want 6-pack abs, I can make a whole video about that. There is a method to doing that, but it's not by going to the gym, okay? So forget about strengthening your core, because when you do work these other major muscle groups in your body, you are naturally going to strengthen your core, because our body is not segmented. Everything's connected. So the first muscle group, what's the largest muscle in your body? You know what the largest muscle in your body is? It's your quadriceps. That is the front of your thigh. Yes, that is the largest muscle in your body. The quadriceps is actually 3 muscles. And you also have large muscles in your calf, the gastrocnemius, or the soleus. In the back of your thigh is the hamstrings. And also a part of your leg muscles are your gluteus muscles, in your buttocks area. So we're going to do an exercise to strengthen all of these leg muscles. This is so important that we strengthen our leg muscles. It will help us to improve balance, make it easier to get out of a chair, to get up out of the sofa. If you're on the floor playing with your grandchildren, it'll make it so much easier to get up off the floor. This is why we must strengthen our leg muscles. Okay, excuse me for sniffing. We're going to use a machine called leg extensions. And you sit in it and it's got this flat thing up here where you put your feet. And you bring your feet up on that, and then you just press against that and pushes your seat back. And you're just going to start at a light weight, something that feels easy to you. And you're going to do 20 repetitions and then rest for 30 seconds. That's one set. Now you're going to do 4 sets of 20 repetitions. In between each set, you're going to rest for 30 seconds. The machines at our gym have, when I look up there, it has a little timer. So as soon as I stop doing my 20 reps, that timer kicks over and I just watch it. And after 30 seconds, then I do my next 20 reps. So that's real convenient. You want your weight to be light enough so that you can get through all 4 sets, because this is 80 repetitions you're doing on this machine. And this is really important. Number one, we want to do this many because we're sending a signal to our muscles, we've got to get stronger. And also, by doing this many, it forces us to use a light weight. And the light weight is going to keep us safe and not injure ourselves. If you feel like you have to strain, if your muscles hurt while you're doing it, or you just can't push the weight anymore, your weight is too heavy. Go lighter. Lighter weights are still resistance training, and it's still going to do this magical job of keeping you strong and making you stronger. Okay, that's the legs. Next muscle group is your arms. So this is we're not going to use a machine for this. We're going to use dumbbells. And they usually have lots of racks of dumbbells, over where, all the lunks hang out and, grunting and all that kind of stuff. You want to get something really small, like a 2 or a 3-pound dumbbell. Just, a little weight like this you can hold in your hand. You want to get 2 of them. There's usually matching sets. Start with 2 pounds or 3 pounds, and you're going to lift it overhead. Now think, you go on a trip, you fly someplace in an airplane, you have a bag that you're carrying on the plane with you, and the bag won't fit under the seat in front of you on the plane. Or if you're riding the bus, same thing. What are you going to do with the bag? You want to put it overhead, right? Okay, so what do? You take the bag like this and you push it up into that overhead rack. This is exactly what we're going to do with the dumbbells. We're just going to lift the dumbbells over our head 20 times, 20 repetitions, set them down, rest for 30 seconds, do it again. 4 sets of these overhead presses. Over time, you will be going to heavier weights, but you're going to start light because you're doing 80 repetitions in total. And by the time you get to 75 or 78, you're going to say, this is getting a little hard. But we want to be able to lift all 80 repetitions. So make sure it's a light enough weight. Those first 20 might seem easy. The second 20 might seem easy. But by the time you get to 80, you'll start feeling that resistance, and that's what you want. Okay, that's your arms. Next muscle group is your back. So when we think of our back, what do we think of for muscles? Do you have any idea? I'm going to tell you the largest muscle in your back is the latissimus dorsi. Now, this is what I call the swimmer's muscle because I'm a swimmer. I love swimming laps. What do swimmers do? They reach over their head and they pull the stroke down to their waist, and the arm comes out of the water and back up. And then we alternate, right? When we're swimming, we alternate and we're pulling down towards our waist. Unless you're doing breaststroke, you pull away this way, or if you're doing uh, butterfly, which is really hard, and I love that stroke, you're pulling like this, right? Okay, so this muscle is the swimmer's muscle. It's the latissimus dorsi. If you ever see the back side of a competitive swimmer, they usually are very well developed back here. Shoulders, the triceps, excuse me, are right here under your arm, deltoids. But back here is this big muscle on either side. So that's the lat muscle, and we're going to go to the machine. I think it's called the lat pull down or something like that. Again, ask someone, which machine will exercise my lats. And this machine, you sit in it, you adjust your weight, start light, you're going to reach up and pull it down. Okay, just going to pull it down like this. Keep your back straight. Don't crunch over. Don't strain yourself. You want this to be light and easy, but it is resistance. And this is what you're doing. 20 of those at 4 sets, 30-second rest in between. Same routine. Okay. Now, the last group of muscles we're going to work is our chest muscles. Now, you guys are probably thinking, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to have nice pecs when I'm at the beach or at the pool. I want my chest to look good. So here you go, guys. This area of muscles you can do at home by doing push-ups. And that's exactly what we're going to do. But push-ups are hard for people. And some people can't even do push-ups because it's a hard exercise. Some people are really good at doing push-ups. Some people cheat at them, bend their knees and all kinds of crazy stuff. So, but we're going to use a machine that simulates a push-up. You're going to sit in it and you're going to push the bars out like this. So I think it's called a press, a chest press. That's it. It's a chest press. So when you go to the gym, say, I want to use a machine to do a chest press. You're going to start with light weights, and this do the same routine, 20 repetitions, 4 sets of those, 30-second rest in between each set. Again, you're going to start very light, and over time, as you do these exercises, you'll go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever your routine is. Over time, you'll start thinking, this is getting easy. Even when I get to the 80th one, my 4th set of 20, this is pretty easy. That's when you bump the weight up just a little bit. Don't think, oh, I'm going to add another 10 pounds. I'm going to be a hero today. No, because you're going to injure yourself. You're going to strain yourself. You're going to strain your neck muscles, your back muscles. You're going to be uncomfortable. And that's not our goal. Our goal is to get stronger. We're going to do it slowly and gradually and have this new habit that is going to be so rewarding. Because if right now you're struggling with getting out of the sofa without help or pushing yourself or rocking, to get out of that chair or sofa. Trust me, you do this at the gym on a regular basis, the way I'm telling you to do it, and you will see in just a couple of months that you will be stronger and you'll be amazed. And it'll make you so happy. And you'll say, I'm never going to stop this. I love going to the gym. Well, I hope you'll love it. So, um, but the key is to be consistent. Um, go every week. Go 2 or 3 times a week, at least twice. But I think you should do 3 times a week. Getting that recovery day in between. Uh, watch your progress by keeping a log, keeping a record. Remember, safety is your #1 priority, and you're going to be safe by using low weights, making sure you have a buddy with you or there are people around, and having those important recovery days. And I, I want to hear about how this is going for you when you go to the gym. We belong to one of these big gyms that's open 24 hours a day, and it's really inexpensive. And I think if you shop around, you'll be able to find a gym that's right for you, that doesn't cost a lot. You don't need all that fancy stuff at the gyms. Just find one of the cheap, ones that are sometimes are open 24 hours a day. Might be in a little shopping center or something. But shop around, find the best price because they all are going to have these same kinds of machines. Go in if you don't have a membership, go in the gym and say, "May I have a tour, please? I'm looking to do machines that strengthen my legs, my back, my chest, and my arms. And show me what you have. What's your price? How's your program work?" And shop around and find the best gym for you because they all have that. So there's no need to pay a premium price. And unless you want some premium stuff that one gym has over another. So if this was helpful, just gently press that like button. And by subscribing, you can be notified when my next videos come out, which every week I produce a new one, and I hope you find them helpful. In the meantime, I want to wish you be well.